Alright guys, Fulu coming to you with another video. I hope all is well with you guys. You know, if you look at my previous videos, I said that Canelo ain't gonna fight no Charlo. Despite Charlo looking bad in his last fight, he didn't look too hot. Everybody understands that. That he wasn't that good looking. You know what I mean? Although Juan Montiel, he won like some rounds and stuff, he made it an ugly looking fight and made Charlo look even worse. However, I guess that still wasn't like enough for Canelo to choose Charlo to fight him. And there's a deeper problem at hand. There's a deeper problem with this at hand that people don't understand. The deeper problem at hand is the fact that I want to say that Eddie Hearn is just showing us proof that he doesn't give a rat's ass about any, I hate to say it, any fighter of African descent, says Anthony Joshua, who of course shares the fact that they're both from the UK, right? That's the only
Thank you for doing your part to prevent the spread of COVID-19 and for traveling safely at LAX.
Sorry, I'm at the airport right now. But anyhow, what I'm saying is that, we see it again that Eddie Hearn does not care about these fighters. We see that his whole priority, numero uno priority, is locking down Canelo for a 2-fight deal so he can promote it, right? So he can make the lion's share of the fight. And we also see that his other priority is basically, matching Triple G against Canelo, and it's like the sad thing about it is he has more energy in trying to match Triple G with Canelo than he had to try to match Triple G with Andre, then he had to try to match Canelo with Andre, then he had to try to match Morata with Andre. It's as if he, you can even look at the body language and tell that Andre ain't really messing with him. You look at the Devin Haney situation, and it's sad too because part of it is not. I'm not going to say it's all Eddie Hearn's fault.
Many bags look alike. Please take a moment to ensure that the bag you claim is yours by matching your claim check with the tag on your luggage.
Sorry about that, but I'm going to still record a video since I'm waiting for someone. But anyhow, the thing is that, when you're dealing with situations like this, you just see the writing on the wall. Now, but, part of the George Kambosos' Devin Haney thing is not Eddie Hearn's fault, but at the same time, Eddie Hearn could be doing more to expose the tactics of Kambosos, the tactics of Tom Loeffler. He could be doing more. He could be calling them out on their BS. Instead, he's leaving Devin Haney he's basically leaving Devin Haney to come out guns a-blazing by himself.
LAX. We're glad you touched down in Los Angeles, home of Super Bowl 56, our unofficial national holiday. Enjoy the big day.
Yeah, so, it's sad because, Eddie Hearn needs to be doing that more. He needs to call them out on their stuff. He's not doing that. He's more just so invested in trying to get Canelo, because okay, like he's he's the AKA face of boxing, which many people say. But, you know, let's be honest with you, bro. Let's be honest with ourselves. Do you guys really, like, I'm talking about like the true boxing fans. I'm talking about the boxing fans who look at skills, who look at the overall fight, you know, the whole fight, who don't just look at the name of the fighter, who don't just look at like how many belts the fighter has, who just don't look at the fighter's fan base, who looks like at the overall fighter. Do you guys really get excited for a Canelo fight? Like, just be honest with me. Do you guys really be looking forward and being like, oh, I can't wait for this fight? Like, just really think about that for a second. You know what I mean? Like, just really ask yourself that question. You know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna lie to you. Canelo's last fights were like, they weren't anything that, they weren't like extraordinary. You know, I'm going to be honest with you. Me personally, the fights I'm looking forward to the new year, to start the new year, I'm looking forward to that Erickson Lubin, Sebastian Fundora fight, because that's a tricky fight for Erickson Lubin. You know, you got a 6'5" guy, and you know, Erickson Lubin, he's about 6 feet. And then you also got the Valdez and the Shakur Stevenson fight, because now here's a chance for someone like, here's a chance for a young dude to chase greatness, unify a division, and maybe, you know, we don't know what kind of Shakur is going to show up, but I'm pretty sure he's taking the fight very serious, and I'm pretty sure that, you know, we may see a better Shakur than we saw versus Jamel Herring. We may see a worse Shakur than that. We never know. You never know in the fight game. You know, but anyhow, back to this situation. You know, Eddie Hearn doesn't give a crap about Andre. He don't give a crap about Devin Haney, because if he did give a crap about them, he would be like pushing it. He would be like giving them these fights. You see him have all this energy for Canelo, but you don't see him have this energy for like Andrade or Haney. Okay? It's just like, what Eddie Hearn did is he just signed them to say, okay, I got some black American fighters on my roster. You know, that's all he did. That's pretty much what I want to say he did. I'm not going to sit around and call them like token, you know that word, token N-words. I'm not going to sit around and do that, because at the end of the day, I know they were trying to do what was best for their career, do what was most conducive for their career, do what was most financially lucrative for their career, and do what they thought would give them the big fights. Because when you look at the lightweight division, you got some of the lightweights over at DAZN. You got Ryan Garcia, who's over at DAZN. You know, Jojo Diaz. You got, I guess, Kambosos is a free agent. He knows he'll make more money than he'll ever make fighting Devin Haney. He's making up excuses saying DAZN don't want to put any money into him, Devin Haney. And he's also making excuses saying that Devin Haney only sold 500 tickets at his last fight, and he can't sell. And he's like, poor kid, he's scared, and all kinds of stuff. Listen, man, Devin Haney, like even Jojo Diaz said, Devin Haney will walk through Kambosos. The thing is, Devin Haney is a more superior boxer than Kambosos, and I actually believe that Devin Haney has more power than Kambosos. Like, I truly believe that. Because when I watched the Teofimo fight, don't get me wrong, Kambosos did what he had to do. He did what was necessary to win the fight, but at the same time, whatchamacallit, he was just bouncing around on his toes too much, and it was kind of amateurish. Sorry, guys.
For more information on operating hours, capacity, and services, please visit www.spahopeuso.org/Los Angeles International Airport. Thank you.
Okay, So, wow, there's a lot. My bad, guys, but I'm just waiting, so I just decided to record this video while I'm waiting.
Violators may also be subject to further penalties under federal law. Please remember, face masks must cover an individual's mouth and nose. Learn more at flylax.com/travel safely.
Okay, so now back to what I was talking about. The thing is that caters to Devin Haney, because here's the thing: Devin Haney even said himself that he believes timing is more important than speed. So that, like Kambosos was doing that little bounce around, that can be timed easily. And the thing is about Devin Haney, people say he's pillow-fisted and stuff like that. But if he times you though, like like that, hey, good luck with that. You know what I mean? Like, times you may have something. May have something else coming, you know what I mean? So this is why I'm saying that, the alibis that Kambosos is making and stuff like that is really just like BS to me.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. No entry is allowed except for airline passengers and persons meeting, accompanying, or assisting them, and airport personnel whose employment requires their presence. All others must exit the airport. Violators are subject to arrest and misdemeanor prosecution. More information can be found at lawa.org. Thank you.
Okay, so now back to the Canelo situation. The crazy thing is, and of course Canelo fans are going to come on this page because this is what Canelo groupies do. They come on my page, leave these comments and stuff like that. And the thing is that I've never seen a group of people defend a man like this more than they would defend like basically like their sovereignty. Let's say if like their country was under attack, they would defend this man over their whole country. If it was over attack. That's how fanatical they are. And I'm sorry to say it, but the fans. Their fans, his fans, only like him for one thing, and that's his flag, and that's his nationality.
Good morning. May I have your attention, please? Passengers going to Hawaii on Alaska Airlines Flight 817 with service from Honolulu. On gate 60, if you're looking for your pre-cleared wristband, we need you to log on to www.travel.hawaii.gov. Once you log on, please access your trip. Scroll all the way down once you access your trip, and you should see 2 green check marks. One green check mark will say screen, yes, and the other one is your COVID exemption, yes. If you do not have 2 green check marks, you will clear when you arrive in Honolulu. Passengers looking for a wristband, please come to gate 60B as in Bravo with 2 green check marks. Thank you.
Okay, so the thing is this: if I was like bringing up fighters, and I've said this in previous videos, if I was bringing up fighters, I wouldn't have my fighters watch Canelo Alvarez to learn how to box. I would have my fighters watch dudes like Jaron Ennis. I would have my fighters watch dudes like Richardson Hitchens. I would have them watch dudes like who else had a good style that was like a versatile style. I would have them watch guys like Erislandy Lara, okay? I would have them watch guys like, who else can I name? There's a guy named Johan Guzman. I would have them watch guys like that. I wouldn't have them watch like Canelo, But anyhow, the thing is Canelo, he even said himself he's gonna let Eddie Reynoso choose his fights for him, meaning that Eddie Reynoso is gonna choose people who he thinks Canelo is gonna be able to beat. Okay, he's not gonna choose Canelo to fight David Morrell. He can't train Canelo for David Morrell. Okay, he's not gonna choose Demetrius Andrade for Canelo. He can't train Canelo for Demetrius Andrade, man. He's not going to choose those guys. Stylistically, they're too difficult for him because they can do everything. That's the problem. Canelo can only do one thing. He can move his head and just walk you down. That's pretty much it. You saw what he did in the Caleb Plant fight. He had no plan B. He only had plan A. Eat pillow-fisted shots, and then eventually when he fatigues, walk the dude down, and that's it. That's how it works. You know, like, it's sad, but it's true, bro. So again, I saw the writing on the wall. I knew Canelo was not gonna fight no damn Charlo. And I also knew that Eddie Hearn, yet again, shows his hand. And I wanna add one more thing before I get off of here, since I'm in the airport. That whole thing about Demetrius Andrade fighting David Benavidez, that shit is just cap. Shit is just cap. Because let me ask you this, when have you known DAZN to work with?
For your health and safety, please maintain a physical distance of at least 6 feet from others not in your immediate traveling party wherever possible. Thank you for doing your part to prevent the spread of COVID-19 and for traveling safely at LAX.
So, I'm going to end on this in case you didn't hear me the last time. When have you known DAZN to work with PBC? Let me know. When have you known DAZN to cross-promote with PBC? Sure, we've seen it with ESPN and DAZN. Sure, we've seen it with PBC and ESPN. We've seen that before. But when have you seen DAZN and PBC work together? You've never seen it before. And like people say, there's a first time for everything, but I don't think they're going to change that cycle. That's just it. You know what I mean? And I'm going to end on this note too. Instead of David Benavidez trying to fight Andrade, why doesn't he try to fight David Morrell? They're on the same thing. They're on the same. David Morrell, he fights on Showtime, he fights on PBC. Why doesn't he try to fight him? You know, I don't get it. David Morrell has mentioned his name more than he has mentioned, what's we call his name? No, David Morrell has mentioned his name more than Benavidez has mentioned his name. You know, as a matter of fact, Benavidez's own father said, David Morrell needs 5 more fights to fight us. You know what that means, right? But with that being said, I digress. Leave your thoughts, leave your comments, like and subscribe. I'll probably start doing more live post-fight reactions and live boxing panels soon. I'm going to redo it, and I'm going to try to be more consistent next time. That's all I got for now, guys. Fuller signing out. Inshallah.